Live with studios in Midland and Odessa, you're watching CBS7 First Alert News at 9 on the CW West
Not only
Texas.
has President Biden's administration dismantled the progress along the border, but they've also attempted to dismantle the relationships of key law enforcement agencies here along the border.
For the last 3 weeks, the federal government and Texas have clashed over Shelby Park, a city-owned public park in the border town of Eagle Pass that was once a busy area for illegal crossings for migrants. In our top story tonight on CBS7 News at 9, we hear from the Terrell County Sheriff about the impact of this crisis across West Texas. Thanks for joining us for CBS7 News on the CW, and thanks for joining us live on the CBS7 YouTube. We start tonight with news across West Texas. Last Monday, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled federal border agents can remove razor wire along the southern border. But that's just one part of the larger issue. For the last 3 weeks, the federal government and Texas have clashed in the border town of Eagle Pass that was once a busy area for illegal migrant crossings. According to Governor Greg Abbott's office, since 2022, Texas has transported 86,100 migrants across the country to cities like New York, Chicago, Denver, Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., and Philadelphia. To help lower that number, Governor Abbott took over Shelby Park.
Again, we've seen here recently where the president said he's ready to talk about negotiations along our border. That shows right there that he's very well aware of what's going on along our border. But what that does is keep all that activity out of Eagle Pass. It shifts it around the sides where law enforcement officers have the tactical advantage to make those apprehensions.
This battle has also contributed to deteriorating relationships between certain law enforcement agencies. Meanwhile, a possible border deal could head to the Senate floor in the coming days. However, the question remains whether Republicans are going to listen to former President Donald Trump, who has tried to tank the compromise in part because he wants to campaign on this issue this November. Julia Brenbrook has the latest.
In a rare statement on the congressional negotiations, President Joe Biden says the bipartisan deal the Senate is working on is both tough and fair. Senator Chris Murphy, a Democrat from Connecticut, is one of the key negotiators.
I am hopeful that we will still have enough Republicans in the Senate who want to fix the problem at the border rather than just do Donald Trump's bidding.
While Republicans have long pushed for strengthening border security, the party's presidential frontrunner, Donald Trump, is asking them to reject the immigration compromise.
A bad bill I'd rather have no bill than a bad bill.
The former president is eyeing the general election and has been campaigning against Biden's handling of the border.
A lot of the senators are trying to say respectfully they're blaming it on me. I said, that's okay, please blame it on me, please.
Meanwhile, Trump's presidential primary opponent, former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, says Congress needs to take action as soon as possible.
Donald Trump, the last thing he needs to do is tell them to wait to pass a border deal until the election. We can't wait one more day.
Components of the deal include a new authority that allows the president to shut down the border between ports of entry when unlawful crossings reach high levels, reforming the asylum system to resolve cases in a shorter time frame, and expediting work permits. Reporting in Washington, I'm Julia Benbrook.
We're tracking crime now, where this man that you're about to see, 26-year-old Davari Murray, was arrested by Midland County sheriffs because he was wanted by Midland police for capital murder in connection to a shooting at the Palladium Apartments on Lamesa Road back on January 18th. Murray's arrest affidavit states that he met two people in a car to buy narcotics. That escalated to a robbery and then led to Murray shooting Darius Reed. The second person in the car was able to identify Murray to the police, who arrested him last Friday. And now you're looking at the 19-year-olds that were arrested in connection to thefts and vehicle burglaries in Greenwood. According to the Midland County Sheriff's Office, Skylar Crabtree and Brian Aguilar were charged with engaging in organized criminal activity. The Midland County Sheriff says that they are still investigating. And this man, Azael Camacho, has been arrested for stealing 175 barrels of crude oil. According to the Midland County Sheriff's deputies, they responded to a call that an unauthorized tractor truck hauling a water tanker took crude oil from a tank battery without permission from that company that owns the land. He was charged with theft of a petroleum product. We're going to talk your weather forecast now with Chief Meteorologist Tom Tieferteller. Tom, what can we expect for this week?
Well, we are looking at a quiet evening this week, a spring treat in our forecast as we head in towards February. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we saw in the way of high temperatures today. Not all that bad, mid to upper 60s. But look at the 70s down towards the Fort Stockton area. About 75 down towards Rio Grande Village was the warm spot this afternoon. Currently, we're seeing things cool off a little bit, but kind of pleasant out there with the lower 50s across many areas. The coldest over towards Marfa, looking at 45 degrees at the present time, and there's not a lot of breeze. We're going to see more of a northeast wind come back in our forecast tomorrow with a weak cool front, but it's really not going to have a big impact on temperatures as they're steadily going to warm up a little bit here into the mid 60s through Wednesday. Start February into the 70s, and the groundhog, well, he's going to be rather warm coming up on Friday, but then a change with a cold front. We'll talk about its impact here in just a couple of minutes.
Thank you, Tom. And some education news. The Howard College on-campus child care facility named Howard Cottage earned a 4-star rating as a Texas Rising Star provider. The rating comes from evaluations of the director and staff qualifications and training, program administration, teacher and child interactions, and having an indoor-outdoor environment. The accreditation took about 18 months to complete and will give Howard Cottage eligibility for new grants and other support materials. The center director said in part, quote, "We know that parents trust us with their children throughout the day, and we take that responsibility seriously," end quote. In your local sports, the UTPB women's basketball team has won 5 games in a row, and they're still undefeated at home. Over the weekend, the Falcons defended their nest against St. Edward's and St. Mary's. That improved UTPB's record to 15-13 this season. The Falcons are one of the leaders in the Lone Star Conference with a 10-2 record in those games. Saturday's dominant victory was also made Coach Ray Booth the winningest coach in program history.
I did believe a lot in the future of the program and the people that we have in it, that success would come. We just needed to be patient and do things the right way. But our players are out there doing the job and pulling down some wins, and I'm just truly excited about us getting the next one together.
Awards also continue to come in for UTPB senior Alexis Quaidman. She was named Lone Star Conference's Defensive Player of the Week. It's the second time this year that she's gotten that honor.
It just shows that my hard work is paying off, and then just showing that I can help my team any way possible. Just knowing that I can help get some of their shots back means a lot to me. From my previous years, we weren't ever in this position, and just knowing that for my last year that I can be a part of this really means a lot.
Be sure to tune in to CBS7 News at 10 for more local sports coverage with CBS7's Jacob Brandenburg. Looking in the community now, one park in Midland will soon be getting a makeover thanks to a donation to the city. Within a year, residents near Grasslands Park should start to see improvements to what is right now a lot of open space and walking paths. The addition should include new safety measures and activities for kids. Schlumberger, an oil company, donated $150,000 to the city of Midland for improvements to neighborhood parks. And after weighing their options, the city decided that this donation was best serve Grasslands, which is one of the few parks without a playground.
That doesn't take a lot of design collaboration. We'll just come in, mark the lights. Our actual city construction crew with our Parks Department will do that installation. So at this point, it's just a matter of purchasing those, which will probably take 2 to 3 months to do that. And so I would say early summer, we should see those lights in.
Grasslands Park is next to the development site for Zoo Midland, so the two are hoping to connect. And $1,000 can make all the difference for a small business. That's the point of a new program at the Midland Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Each month, the chamber will give a micro grant to one recipient. Crystal Rodriguez held up her check with a smile as she told fellow chamber members that she'd use it for a new camera lens that will help her take even better photos of Midland babies, families, and business owners at Crystal Rodriguez Photography and Services. The grant demonstrates the support she has already received as a chamber member.
They love Midland, they love the community, they love helping small businesses, and I just feel like they do it wholeheartedly. You can just feel it, you feel the engagement, you feel the love, the kindness, the care, and you just feel cared for, you feel loved, you feel the service, so that makes a lot for it.
The grants are open to any business with less than $5 million in annual revenue. The application requires an essay, and membership is preferred but not required. And we're keeping an eye on your money now, where tax season officially opens today, and the IRS is now accepting returns. The agency anticipates close to 129 million individual returns this year and says most refunds will be processed within 21 days. The IRS does have a free file option for people with an adjusted gross income of $79,000 or less. And this year, there is a new software pilot program being offered in 12 states called Direct File. It opens to qualifying taxpayers in mid-March.
Your eligibility for Direct File does not depend on your income. It just depends on the complexity of your tax return. For this first year, the more simple your tax return, the more likely you are to be eligible.
You can find out more information about Direct File and other options at irs.gov. Now for a look at today's top headlines shown here in real time with real viewers from CBS7.com. You can see all these stories and more just by downloading our app or visiting our website, CBS7.com. And still ahead, we have the latest on the Alex Murdaugh case coming up on CBS 7 News at 9. And in honor of Human Trafficking Awareness Month across the country, tune in to CBS 7 First Alert News this Thursday, February 1st, for my special report, Picking Up the Pieces. We'll hear from a victim of human trafficking and the organizations in the Permian Basin to help victims get jobs, a place to live, and hope for the future. My full special report will be next Thursday at 6 and 10 and at 9, right here on the CW. We have new details for you now in the Alex Murdaugh case. After fighting for a new trial, his request was denied. Ivan Rodriguez reports.
A new trial judge for Alex Murdaugh is denied by the judge.
I find the defendant's motion for a new trial on the factual record before me must be denied.
Murdaugh's attorney accused the county clerk of jury tampering. Juror Z, who found Alex Murdaugh guilty last year of murdering his wife and son, testified Monday that comments made by Colleton County, South Carolina court clerk Rebecca Hill influenced her verdict.
Was your verdict influenced in any way by the communications of the clerk of court in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
And how was it influenced?
She made it seem like he was already guilty.
An allegation Murdaugh was using to push for a new trial. Murdaugh and his attorneys accused Hill of inappropriately discussing the case with jurors and pressuring them to come to a verdict quickly.
At any time, did you instruct the jury to watch him closely and look at his actions?
I did not.
At any time, did you instruct the jury or tell the jury to look at his movements?
No.
The other 11 jurors questioned denied any such influence by Hill. Murdaugh's defense team is accusing Hill of tampering for the purpose of a book deal and media appearances. She signed an affidavit denying 26 specific accusations for Murdaugh's motion for a new trial and reiterated those denials on the stand Monday. The judge ruling the court clerk made improper comments to the jury, but ruled they did not influence the verdict. I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
Well, back home in West Texas, we've been enjoying some great weather. More of it's on the way, but then changes for the weekend. We'll talk about it coming up next.
Now, from the CBS7 First Alert Weather Center, here's Chief Meteorologist Tom Tiefertiller.
Well, we are going to be looking at some nice changes in our forecast. As temperatures are going to warm up even more. Got a jump start today. Look at this. All the way up into the 70s in the Pecos County area. Fort Stockton at 71 degrees there on the Stockton Plateau. Mid to upper 60s across the Permian Basin. Down towards Presidio Valley, also nearing 70 this afternoon. What's going on is a ridge of high pressure continues to control our weather. You see this little kink, though, in the flow in the upper levels. Well, that is a little disturbance rolling across, and that's going to push a very weak cool front into the area. It's really not going to be much more than just a little wind shift. Hold temperatures kind of where they were today across the area. But then this other big ridge of high pressure really starts to take hold of our weather, and that's going to warm temperatures up even more as we roll in towards the next couple of days. We have to wait on this storm system back here across the Pacific Northwest to move up and over this system that's going to swing a front through. There will be the possibility of some showers in the forecast, but it looks like the best chances of rain are going to stay north and east of the area. Right now, mid to high level cloudiness continues to stream across portions of West Texas, and that's going to continue to be the case. It'll make for a decent sunrise out there across the area, but another nice one is on the way coming up for tomorrow afternoon. As those temperatures again, well, they're going to be looking at the mid to lower 50s right now across the area, 57 in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So again, enjoying a nice one. Rest of tonight, not all that bad. It's going to be a little on the chilly side to wake up to with temperatures into the upper 30s. Tomorrow, though, more of the same. That front's going to swing that northeast wind into the area, And again, temperatures kind of holding where they were today across West Texas and southeast New Mexico, but warming back up even more as we move in towards the start of the month of February. It's already February 1st on Thursday. Groundhog Day coming up on Friday. I think in West Texas, he's not going to see too many clouds disrupt his shadow. So again, we'll have to see what the official forecast is, but it looks like we are going to see temperatures back to more seasonal levels. So a little bit of winter back in our forecast for the weekend and into the early part of next week.
Still ahead, Super Bowl 58 is set. We take a look at the nail-biting 49ers win next on CBS7 News at 9. In case you missed it, the San Francisco 49ers are heading to the Super Bowl. Quarterback Brock Purdy rallied to overcome a 17-point deficit and beat the Lions 34-31. For fans, it was a whirlwind of emotions all night long. Tara Campbell reports.
49ers fans erupting Sunday night. From San Francisco's financial district to the North Beach neighborhood.
It was fantastic. It was hard for the first half to watch. We actually were going to go home, but then we decided to come back, just to see what happened, and I'm so glad we did.
It was awesome. Instant classic for sure. That IU catch is going to be a classic moment of Niners history, so that was awesome to see.
I've been on the edge of my seat the entire game, but I already predicted to my friends, once we get the lead, it's over.
It was incredible. I got a little nervous in the first half. I stuck around. We pulled it out. We just need our defense to get hyped.
Over in the city's East Cut neighborhood downtown, the nerve showing early on when the Niners were down.
So far looking sketchy until it's the first quarter, so let's wait and see.
How are you feeling about the game?
You know what? Not so great after the first 2 minutes, I think, but it seems like they're going to come back, and it'll be a good game either way, so very excited.
People gathering from across the Bay Area to watch on the big screen. This father and daughter duo made the trip from Pittsburgh.
Oh, I love it. I love seeing all the Niner fans around me. I love seeing them cheer and boo with us, so it's nice. It's nice.
You know what? It's a lot of action, which is all you can ask for. Hopefully the 49ers can pull it out, though.
And that the Niners certainly did. And these fans are confident going into the Super Bowl.
Patrick Mahomes has nothing on Brock Purdy. It's all over.
I feel amazing. We need that rematch against Mahomes. I think we can pull it out.
Karen Campbell, ABC7 News.
In a rematch of the 2020 Super Bowl, the Niners will face the reigning champs, the Kansas City Chiefs. That'll be Sunday, February 11th in Las Vegas, and you can watch that game live on CBS7. Plus, stick around after the game for your news, sports, and weather headlines. Those hoping to see the big game in person at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas should prepare to shell out some serious dough. Tickets on StubHub on Sunday night ranged from $7,000 to $34,000 per seat, while tickets on Ticketmaster were advertised for as much as $55,000. And as we just said, for those who can't get there, the Super Bowl will air live on CBS7. Still ahead, we have all seen our share of crazy traffic. But what if the reason you were delayed on I-20 was a circus? We've got that story next. All right, Tom, we've seen a lot of traffic here in West Texas, but nothing like a circus. So in Indiana, part of an interstate was shut down after a trailer carrying zoo animals caught on fire early Saturday morning. The Grant County Sheriff's Office shared these pictures on social media, and it shows the officers with the animals, including camels and zebras. The officials say that the animals were from the Mizpah Shring Circus in Fort Wayne. All of the animals are just fine. They're all okay. They're rescued safely. And officers even gave them a little snack of some hay after their...
I thought you were going to say animal crackers.
That would have been good.
Anyway.
That would have been good. No, they got some hay. Look at them. What would you say if you were stuck in traffic and you were driving by and it was zebras on the side of the road?
That would be interesting. I would probably slow down to see that.
I think I would too.
Especially those camels too. That would be cute too.
I would definitely. I'd stop and see some zebras and camels. Thank you for joining us for CBS 7 News at 9 on the CW. We've got more news coming up tonight on CBS 7 News at 10.